Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life, on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Here's something most people don't realize. Great sleep doesn't happen by accident. It starts with what you're sleeping on. That's why I switched to Sheets. Their bedding is made from the same performance fabrics you'd find in elite athletic wear, but designed to help you sleep better. If you run hot at night, these sheets help you stay cool and dry. If you love that cozy, ridiculously soft feel, they've got that too. Comfort that stays consistent from the moment you hop into bed. And for anyone with an adjustable base, this is a game changer. Their Stay Fit corners are the best I've ever tried. No slipping, no popping off, even when the bed moves. When your days are demanding, Sheets helps you wake up restored, not run down. Try them for yourself with their 60-night risk-free guarantee. Upgrade your sleep at Sheets.com.
Hey, I'm a medium, and this podcast is for those who wish to understand the wonderful world of spirit. Where do we go when we die? I'll share stories of mine as a medium and other mediums in our journeys, plus you will hear real-life client readings so that you can know without any doubt that your loved ones in spirit are around you all the time. I'm Jen, and this is the Singing Medium Podcast. Welcome back to the Singing Medium Podcast. I'm so happy that you're here and that you are always coming back to listen to my little voice here. And this is one of those ones where that will be shorter because, again, I'm one of those days where I'm like, I don't know what to talk about on the podcast, so I'm just going to talk my way through this and see what comes out for you guys. And if you haven't heard by now, you guys know that I'm making a massive shift in my business and my personal energy, and it's showing up, and I don't think I'm going to go back this time. So just so you guys know, there's I'm still going to be doing some readings occasionally, like if you guys need one, but the prices are going up today. This is the last day for a regular price reading. They're actually going up a lot today, so I really encourage you to grab one before they change. And I'm okay if the readings slow down because people maybe don't want to spend a little bit more of an investment. But through my transition and that whole clawing my way back up from my near-death experience with the overdosing experience that I went through about 6 or 7 weeks ago, I'm almost to the point now where I'm like, it was almost like a death of my self, my old self. And we go through this in our life, right? You'll have these times where you're like going through life and you're like, then you get stuck one day, something happens and you don't know what to do anymore. You're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And then something major will happen that you weren't expecting that will force you, or even sometimes just allow a new you to birth through it. So if you're going to go through a major transition, something usually has to be like massive that will happen to you, right? So for me, it was that whole experience at the yurt. And now I'm like, I feel like I'm a whole different person. So like, I remember saying, I feel like I'm dead. I feel like I'm dead. And at the time it was terrifying, right? But now if I look back and I see the progress from that, I was like, oh my God, that had to happen. Not that I condone or forgive anybody yet, but that had to happen for me in order to step into this new energy that I'm in right now. And some people might not understand it. It's okay, because I don't think people can really sort of relate to these emotions and this shift if you haven't been through it yourself, you know? So hopefully this is inspiring, because I'm inspired by this whole energy shift that I'm going through right now, like up-leveling my business. You know, I got stuck, and I want to share with you, I had posted on my Instagram story on elevate.hersoul that you get stuck before the breakthrough. So you can't just like keep having breakthroughs all the time, right? You can't go wee all the way through life and just skate your way through life. You got to meet some resistance. You got to meet something, a door, a block. You got to meet that stoppage when you're like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And it's painful and terrifying, but let me be the one to tell you that right before the breakthrough is the stuckness. So if you're feeling really stuck and you're not sure what you need to do, is for me, and I think a lot of people my clients are reading for lately, it's, you know, up-leveling your life, your entire life, not just a career, but like who you are. You're literally becoming someone different. You're becoming that person. Like if you have a big dream or big goal, you can't access that vibrational level if you're like an old version of yourself. Do you know what I mean? So we'll use like, I decided that I was going to do something different. I've been doing readings for like 6 years. It'll be 7 years pretty soon. I've been doing the same thing, loving it. And then one day this happens. I'm like, I don't love it anymore. What am I going to do now? And then this whole psychic business coach thing that I came up with is like, oh, this is next level. This feels like a next level thing, right? So I've been doing some coaching now, and I'm loving it so much. And I'm really hoping I'm going to share some with like bigger companies, and I'm going to get the word out here and be like, this is what I'm doing. This is how I can help you. You know, it's like you got to go through the crap, the death experience, so that you can be rebirthed into that person who believes that they deserve this. Like Jen 8 weeks ago didn't believe she deserved this kind of, you know, and breaking the limitations of money stories and like, who am I to do this? And good, that's just gone now. That's gone. So out of this has come like, you know, I work really hard. Like you might think that like I'm just, you know, she just talks to dead people all day, no big deal. Or like she just sits around and like predicts futures for individuals who are having a hard time in their life and answers questions all day. No. Yeah, I don't think if you're not a psychic or a medium, you're not in this profession, you don't know. Like it's exhausting. Like today I had 2 beautiful readings, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to get a Starbucks after, and I'm going to go do a little bit of shopping, whatever. And I just couldn't do it. I'm like, I need to go to bed. Like I'm exhausted. So I slept for 2 hours. Like you guys know I'm a big napper, but like this was like, I'm exhausted. And I actually had a dream. I had dreams while I was napping. So the level of exhaustion is starting to get a toll on my body. And I started to feel sick. Like I saw my body started to ache. So I'm like, okay, I gotta go rest. So like rest is really important when you're in this field. But also what can happen sometimes too is if you're going through a massive shift in your energy and your entire consciousness level is changing, that you could get sick, right? You could get physically sick because it's a really big toll on your body to shift the energy within, right? Because you are energy and the energy is inside of you, and it makes you really tired. So make sure that you're resting. You're not like I was going on like, let's go warrior mode, right? And then I'm like, wait a minute, I need a little break here. So, you know, so you got to be easy with yourself when you're going through a major transition like this, or even if you're still feeling stuck, you know. So one thing I do want to address though as well too is that resistance that you'll meet too. So I'm like, okay, my prices are going up and the abundance factor is going up, and you know, because I realize how the money has to match the experience that not only you receive, but also that the work that it takes on me as a human being. And, you know, so I'm getting to that level where I'm busting through my limitations, and I'm hoping that will inspire you to bust through your limited thoughts and beliefs around money, or, you know, things of value, even though, you know, we do live, I just heard Madonna, living in a material world, right? Like you got it. So I'm going through this resistance, and today I'm like, I'm not backing down. I did a story. I'm like, I am not backing down, you guys. I'm not backing down. Because it's time. It's just, I've stepped into it. I've stepped in it. I'm fully stepping in it. So then I noticed the people around me who are following me are meeting me back with resistance as well. So like I had a few people even just today say, you know, you said it was $200, but then it says $226. And I said, but that's tax. It's always been, the tax has to be on it. And they were upset with me because it wasn't the same price that I had said of $200. I'm like, I just thought you knew that there would be tax. You know, it's a cute little story to share. It doesn't mean that I'm mad at anyone or anything like that, but I can see the resistance coming back, I'm like, well, do you want me to go to jail? And I was talking to Chad and someone else, and they're like, well, do people expect to go to the grocery store and like not have to pay the tax? Like, anyways, it's just a cute little story to share, to see that I'm also feeling that resistance. I'm getting it back. So I don't blame anyone for these messages I'm getting. And I appreciate you guys asking questions and reaching out, but like, nope, I'm done. I'm done with this. It's time to begin, isn't it? Okay. So putting that on the shelf and just letting you guys know that it's going up a lot. It's not going to be the price that it is. And also the packages for psychic business coaching is actually going to be going up. And I'm also going to up my spiritual mentoring package as well. So those are the things that are still remaining. And I do actually I'm teaching one more Reiki Master class, and that is October 1st and 2nd. And that is going to be happening at a cottage by the lake where you can relax and meditate. And we're going to do circles and learn how to be a Reiki master, that you can be a Reiki master teacher after you teach your first class. And that's a really exciting adventure. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I would love to have you come and spend a weekend with us out in nature. All right. So I posted on Instagram and asking for ideas of what you guys wanted me to talk about today. And you all had great ideas. So some of the ideas were past lives, which I've already done. I'm pretty sure I did an episode on past lives, Akashic Records. So I'm not sure what episode that is, but go ahead and you can listen to that one again. Someone asked me about haunted houses. Actually, yeah, it was funny because one of the ideas I had last night was to talk about haunted TikTok, because I go on TikTok sometimes, and I have been seeing some really funny haunted TikTok videos about the SLS camera that we used to use, where you can actually see the stick figure that is a ghost and a spirit on the camera. So there was some ones, I wish I had saved it, but here's one thing you don't know about me. When you hear something really quirky about me that you don't know, sometimes I like the way I relax sometimes, besides meditating, which not everything has to be spiritual and meditative in order for you to chill out. And so besides going to the beach in the morning, one of the things that I like to relax is watching soap cutting videos on TikTok. And I don't mean the ones where someone makes a big mold and they get that little string and they push down on it. No. I don't mean that. I'm talking about like they cut the bar of soap in like 100 million pieces, and they take like a really sharp edge knife and they hold onto it and they peel it off, and you can hear the sound of this. I know I'm a weirdo. I just wanted to share that quirky thing with you, that this is something that I actually love to. I'm going to come here and I'm going to Google it, and I'm going to let you listen to it, because you're going to be like, what is she talking about? It's like this here. Let me see. Okay. You hear that? So it's like she's holding a purple bar of soap in her hand, and she's cut it like 1,000 ways, diagonal and horizontal. And now she's cutting it with one of those blades. Listen to this, guys. Like, what? Like, this is what I do, okay? This is one of my things. Something you didn't know. I don't think anyone knows this about me except for Chad. It's like, why are you on TikTok so much? I'm like, I'm just looking at soap cutting videos. So own your quirky things. Share your weirdness. I love it. Okay, so some of the things that people were asking me to talk about, and I'm happy to share those things with you, but like past lives, like I said, haunted house, my new business, which I kind of did. Someone asked me to talk about my story from teaching, reading, mentoring to my new CEO business coaching. And then another person asked me to do how do I claw my way back after my setbacks. But the one that I did decide to talk about briefly is someone had asked the question, is it my voice or a spirit's voice am I hearing? So I get this. This is a very common question that I get, and if you practice mediumship, you will understand this, that if you're clairaudient. So some ways that you know, to answer her question, some ways you know that if it's your voice or spirit's voice. So there are different ways that you can hear a spirit voice. So one is actually physical, and I think I've spoken about the time where I heard my grandma's physical voice in a grocery store parking lot with calling my name, and then I freaked out and I turned that off real quick. But this was in my early days, so like I don't hear a physical voice, so I'm clairaudient. So if you're going to hear voices, you are most likely clairaudient. If you're not a clairaudient person, you don't hear spiritually or psychically, then you won't hear a voice, so don't freak out. But if you're clairvoyant, you won't hear a voice. You'll see something. You'll see spirit. You'll see a shirt. You'll see a man. So this person is talking about her being clairaudient. And so I'm also clairaudient as a medium. So people are like, well, tell me what that guy's wearing. I'm like, I don't know. I don't see them. I'm not clairvoyant. I'm clairaudient. So I hear spirit talking to me in my right ear, which is I call my bad ear, because my right ear is actually plugged because I hear spirit voice in my ear all the time. Now, that being said, it's hard to describe between your own voice in your head. We all have this voice in our head that tells us things, sometimes the voice is nice, sometimes the voice is not so nice, like, oh, you don't look pretty today or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's not that voice. It's a different tone. But you know how the voice in your head is like ethereal or invisible? I call it an invisible voice. So it doesn't really make sense, but to me, that's how I understand it. It's like a voice in your head, but the voice in my head is if it's spirit or my higher self, it's outside of my head. So I'll get it on the right side of my body, just above my ear. And if it's my voice, it's inside my head. Okay. So if I'm meditating and I hear a message or I hear something, sometimes before I'm falling asleep, I'll hear a conversation above my head and I can hear spirits blabbering above my head and they know not to bother me because I'm like, I'm sleeping, don't bother me. But sometimes I'll hear a conversation to the left above my head and it'll be like an invisible voices. So they're not really physical, if that makes sense. They're non-physical voices. Okay. That makes a lot of sense that people ask the question, like, is it my voice or spirit's voice? And it takes a while to practice and learn to differentiate between the two because they are both non-physical voices. They're like coming out of, it's hard to explain, but it's like the voice in your head, but then there's a slight difference, a slight feeling, a slight energy to the voice. So it won't sound like your voice. So in my head, I hear a voice that kind of sounds like me. It's a very recognizable voice. I know it. I'm comfortable with it. Spirit's voice is different. Spirit voice is on the outside of my head. So talking in my right ear, just like outside of my head, but on the right side. And it's different for everyone. It might not even be that, so that's how I explain it. The best way to figure out if it's your voice or spirit's voice is to go take some classes, get a mentor privately or in a group, take a class and learn how to discern the voices, but that actually just means you're clairaudient. And some people don't even know, some mediums don't even know which psychic sense they are. They don't know if they're clairknowing, if they're clairsentient, if they're claircognizant, they're clairvoyant. So it does take time, and so I'm clairaudient, so I'm pretty much an expert on how to like know if it's and that being said too, like if it's a male who's coming through, they don't have a different sounding voice. It's not like a male voice and then a female voice. It's just, they're all the same. It's a neutral voice. But then I have to tap into the feeling. So I'd be like, okay, is that a male or a female? I'm like, let me just double check. And then I have to check it in. There's a feeling I have to feel into. Is it a man or a woman's voice? It's not like, hello, Jen, my name is Bruce. Or hi Jen, my name is Grace. There's no tonation. There's no influx in their voice, so you have to use all of yours. That's why I said you got to get some training, because you got to know like how to strengthen it, how to navigate it, how to control it, how to communicate properly, because we all have our different languages. Spirit does not go, hello Jen, how are you? My name is Sandy and I died from cancer and I live at 42 Wallaby Lane. My favorite movie apparently is Nemo. It doesn't work that way. They don't do that. So unless you've been doing it maybe 30 years, but 7 years in, I think I'm doing pretty good knowing that there's a male voice or a female voice and I hear what they're saying, and they'll also mix it with pictures. So hope that answers your question, and I'm going to end it right there because it's a short one. It's just one of those times where I didn't know what to talk about. So thanks for your questions, and I really want to do like a Q&A one, but I posted on like, hey, ask me a question, and people are so used to me offering sort of free little questions on Instagram on my stories that nobody caught. Like I meant, no, ask me a question. Like ask me a question. Like what do you want to know about? Because I was going to do an episode on like behind the scenes of a medium or a psychic, or a psychic business coach. So next time I'll be more clear and ask me a question, and I will share things. I was shared about the soap cutting thing, so you could ask me things like, what's something weird that you do, or what's because everyone pretty knows my morning routine, so I don't want to share that. But next time I would love to have a Q&A. Maybe we'll talk about haunted TikTok next time, and I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing in my journey. I really appreciate you guys, following along with me and like what's Jen doing next and watching me grow and like even something as simple as I was looking back a year ago on one of my stories. I had shorter hair, like I look different and everything, so I really want you to really own your journey. Don't be ashamed of any part of it. Any part of your journey, don't want you to be ashamed of it. I want you to use it. Use it as something. If something bad happens to you, like it happened to me, I know we all go through bad things sometimes, but I want you to use that. Use that in your power. Use that as now I'm going to be empowered and I'm not going to allow this to knock me down and keep me down. Like sometimes you just got to claw your way back, man. And that's what I've done. I've clawed my way back from the depths of despair in like the darkest place I've ever been in my life. And I felt like I was dead. I saw the dead things in the ground and the birds and it was horrible. Like you guys know I talked about it. So like you can claw your way back, but sometimes we have to die energetically or on a soul level for us to become the person that is needed to achieve the things that we want, our goals, our dreams, the big house that we want. I can't get it from like that old Jen who's like, oh my God, I can't spend $5 on a Starbucks. You know what I mean? You gotta completely change your energy. You can't be in the past. You have to be that person who already has those things. All right. Have a wonderful weekend and we'll see you all next Friday on the Singing Medium podcast.
Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.